Welcome to a brand new season of Industry Leaders. You'll meet people with real passion who through dedication and hard work became our industry leaders. They'll share their inspirational stories of resilience and hope as they advance their chosen industry. On this episode, we'll meet industry leaders who are always looking for opportunities to expand their network with quality general and specialist dental practices. But first, meet SSS Strawberries CEO Victor Day on his family-run and owned farm, which is enjoying phenomenal success since relocating to Bundaberg, with over 140 acres under cultivation. Industry Leaders, brought to you by Annex Media.
Our parents had the strawberry farm in Perth before we came here to Bundaberg. So we just followed their step. But then us brothers and sisters had come up with a different business plan and of course different business name. SSS carries for 7 successful siblings, and it started from there. The business has grown from creating a job for ourselves back then into a business now. When we started it, we had a limited resource. Every one of us put together hard work. Public and supermarkets these days have been more aware of healthy eating and what goes in the fruit or how clean the produce are. We've been able to work with some of the best in the country to adapt and use more IPM practice, which is integrated pest management. We're using soft chemical. We don't use harsh chemical on protecting our crops. Therefore, it's very soft and healthy for the consumer. That has been a big part in building our name too. We offer tours to schools. They come in with classes. We even do many other groups like disabled groups and people from the nursing homes, the local communities and tourists. They can call in and do a pick your own time, taking photos. We take time, explain to them how strawberries are grown, showing them how can be harvested and what to be harvested and what's the best weathers and all the information that they need to know, in the hope that we can teach them or educating them more and appreciate more as where the strawberry come from. The major one we actually do different to every other farmers is our name. We create a trust to our buyer and the public. We have our faith, we have our hard work, we have our trust in our SSS label, which is at supermarket level. We've got about 150 acres. We've got just under 3 million plants in the ground. To put that in perspective, we will do that 1.5 million kilos a year. We do try to create one of the best working environment for our workers. We would try to be the employer of choice.
Welcome to our packing shed. We have 100 people working here, plus all the quality control people. So you have about 120 people at one time working here during our strawberry season. And the strawberry season for us is from May to September. The peak of the season is around July and August.
We're constantly training new hackers, but the harmony of the sheds is what creates the most important part of hacking.
For us, it's all about family, because we're very much about family. So we treat our staff and our workers here as if they're family as well.
The workers are very happy here, so which make us very happy.
When we first started, we had the idea of creating a safe, comfortable working environment for the pickers. So we've come up with the idea of this tricycle bike, so you call, or picking trolleys. I came up with that sort of concept and I went to the engineer and try and ask, see how much they could do it for. And they quoted me for, in excess of over $1,000 each. And back then there's no way we had, that sort of a lot of money. And we needed about 20. So what I did in my spare time was gone to the dump and collected the bikes and put together and made them. And we had shade over the tops, seat where the people can sit, so that it protect them from being directly heated by the sun and protect our crop as well. Every year we do more because we're growing more in area and numbers. So every year we were able to create more with that same prototype that I've set up. Our mission is also involving community charities. Our mum has been involving a lot of charity activities. As of now, she's already overseas doing a lot of giving and checking on people. And that's only a charity side of it, but we also help our staffs to set their life up. They started by working for us, but as time goes by, they're working with us. On a personal level, I've achieved a lot more than I can say. What motivates me the most is actually seeing a lot more people who are growing with us, including our staffs, and we have been able to create the financial freedom to help a lot more people. That to me is the big plus, because what we've done, who we've helped, I can't lose that.
Stay tuned to Industry Leaders. Next, find out more about one of the largest strawberry growers in Australia at SSS Strawberries, growing over 2.6 million strawberry plants. The Dane family relocated from WA to Queensland over 10 years ago with no regrets.
SSS carries for 7 successful siblings. We don't use harsh chemical. It's very soft and healthy for the consumer.
We treat our staff and our workers here as if they're family as well.
The workers are very happy here, so which make us very happy.
What we've done, who we've helped, I can't lose that. Ten years ago, I wouldn't have imagined, because I graduated from uni in business management and marketing. I wouldn't have thought I would know what to do at farm. I got stuck in it at the beginning, and I managed to learn my way through, push myself through. And with the help of a lot of friends and families, I managed to learn enough to operate the farm. And now looking back, I have no regret, because I'm not only did what I didn't train for, but I did it really well, I have to say. We started off, say, turnover of a couple of $100,000 a year, if that. Now we turn over $10 million a year. It's interesting, and I wouldn't change it. The hard work was also a put-off for a lot of people, for us too. A lot of hard work, but with the support of the family, especially mum, we're pushing through to get the job done. Without the family, I wouldn't have had the energy, the drive, the passion to do what I did. Now looking back, pretty emotional, because it was a lot of hard work. And to be honest, I couldn't believe how I gone through it. If you ask me to do it again, I probably can't do it. It's gone through a lot of hardship. It was for the family, not just our siblings, but for the later generations, which I hope to leave a bit of a legacy, not just hard work, but results as well. To be able to become a good, trusted producer, it involves a lot of cost, a lot of learning. We channel all our energy, financially, and effort into learning how to grow quality crops. But that doesn't stop there. We need to have proper facilities, including cold room, packing facility, good experienced workers, and all that sort of thing. Our cost of farming, especially in strawberries, has been increasing dramatically for the last 10, 20 years. Selling price, well, our revenue hasn't been increased. So we need to run with technology in order to take advantage of economy of scale, because especially cost of labor has been the biggest part for us. So we be able to invest it more into machinery to be more effective in producing better volumes. In the early day, the challenge was we had limited resources, and financially we weren't able to do everything at once. That's when the family support was helpful, and we were all sort of stuck together and build it step by step to get to where we are. This particular farm here, when we started, we only had one small open shed where we packed strawberries in, and we had limited machinery. A lot of things was done by hand with very low productive, but then we were able to build a proper facility for packing. We were able to buy tractors and other implements from the money that we earn. A big milestone for me is that we were able to create that financial freedom and give us that freedom to purchase them machineries and facilities for growth. It wasn't easy. It was a challenge every step of the way. To this point, we're still building continually every season. But we want more, we want more, and we want more. We haven't stopped yet. We're trying to create our name in the industry, being quality producer, in the hope that we get accepted more by the public, and the public will consume more healthy fruits such as strawberries, which is good for everybody. I'd like to teach the kids, my kids and my siblings' kids, that everything started with a bit of hard work, and hard work will pay. Everything we do is based on honesty, and honesty goes a long way, and that's how we're trying to live for the kids. In the future, my kids will do whatever they want. We will support them. They don't have to follow my step. My thought is, if they like it, I'll help them out. Or whatever area they like, we will help them out. I think our siblings will manage to keep it continued whether we're there or not. SSS means everything to me, because I've dedicated every breath of my life for the last 10 years since it started. And I've built to this point. It is my life. It means everything. And that's why I'm so proud of it where it is now. I hope that I'll be here with my sibling to continue to grow into the future.
Ahead on Industry Leaders, Maven Dental Group, a nationwide group of dentists who've joined together to create a national network that believes the ongoing pursuit of knowledge in their field allows them to provide the best of care for their patients.
Maven Dental started in 2008. There was originally a group of 9 practices. There were some individuals who had got that group together but needed the funding to acquire them. Barno Healthcare Group provided the funding, and that was really the genesis of the start of Maven. It was known as Dental Partners back then, and we had some other shareholders that were involved, and then in 2010 Barno bought out that group of shareholders, so wholly owned it, and then the next change was the rebranding to Maven in 2015. The growth of Maven is through acquisition, and part of the reason for doing that is that we want to acquire dentists and practices that are experienced, and particularly when you're growing a professional network, professionals want to be part of a network that they're proud of, that they relate to those colleagues and are proud to be associated with them. It provides a fantastic platform for the future when you're bringing through that next generation of dentists.
Hey Harry, how you doing? Good to see you, buddy. Hop on in.
I have wanted to be a dentist since I knew what a dentist was. Initially went to work experience at a dental practice and thought, wow, this will be a really great profession because it combines a lot of my loves. I really enjoyed that. I graduated from Sydney University in 1989, so I've been a dentist for 28 years. Back in 2011, I sold my practice to Maven Dental Group. The reason I sold my dental practice is because I wanted to focus on the delivery of good quality clinical care. Running back office aspects of the practice, things like HR, IT, marketing, were very difficult to manage. So my reasoning for selling my practice to a corporate entity was to allow me to do things that I really enjoyed doing. So from my point of view, it really allowed me to do what I do best, which is clinical dentistry.
One of the key unique aspects of Maven is that we have a very experienced group of clinicians. It's a very isolating profession, even just within a dental practice. The fantastic aspect of a group is the collegiality that it forms. It provides an easier platform for people to share knowledge, to bounce ideas off each other. It creates a very, very healthy environment of clinical best practice.
Wow, I can see all these.
Getting to the stage where we've had 100 practices in New Zealand, 100 practices in Australia is fantastic from where we've come from. There was a lot of doubt from a lot of people within the industry that we would ever get to the size that we have.
All is coming through so that it can...
The Maven Dental Group brand has only been in existence for less than 2 years, and we've got over half of the network that's been branded. It's a real testament to what we're doing. We have to be careful with it. We don't force our practices to rebrand. It's all about showing them the benefits of adopting the brand. You're looking at practices that have been around for 30 years. Some of them have quite strong brands and recognition. It's really about getting the best of both worlds and working out how do we do it so we can embrace some of the benefits of the Maven branding, but still make sure that people know, no, it's still the same teams of people who are there and looking after their care.
We've also got
The rebranding of Maven Dental Group was really a huge milestone from my point of view. I've always been of the opinion that as a group, once we develop a brand or a particular view within the marketplace, then that brand would stand for something. I was quite excited to see Maven Dental Group develop their brand and continue to grow their brand.
See you next time.
The other things that I'm very excited by and I'm looking forward to seeing in the future, the development of our clinical advisory board, the introduction of hygienists within our clinical advisory board, the growth of learning and development frameworks within our group. That's very exciting because now we can be the source of provision of the best clinical practice within the corporate network. And that, I think, is really distinguishing ourselves in the marketplace because not all corporates are the same. We're focused on clinical care, provision of clinical care, not on the financial aspects of the outcomes of good clinical care.
So I think that's been the other key thing really is the dentists embracing the brand has been a huge achievement for us, and it's happened a lot more quickly than actually what we expected. There's just so much to do. We've built a fantastic platform. We've got a group of 100 fantastic practices, over 300 clinicians, nearly 1,000 staffs. You have to actually sit back and realise where we've come from. Started with 9 practices, we've now got 100. Our goal is to have 500 practices. So, I'm incredibly proud of where we've got to, but I'm even more excited about what we've still got to do and what we can still make Maven Dental Group be and the improvements that we can make.
Still to come on Industry Leaders, more insight into what sets Maven Dental Group apart from the rest. After starting with 9 dental practices just over a decade ago, they now have over 1,000 employees and clinicians and close to 100 practices.
The growth of Maven is through acquisition. We want to acquire dentists and practices that are experienced.
Back in 2011, I sold my practice to Maven Dental Group because I wanted to focus on the delivery of good quality clinical care.
You have to actually sit back and realise where we've come from. Started with 9 practices, we've now got 100.
When I was a child going to the dentist, it wasn't really the most pleasant activity. Dentistry was really something that you had to do rather than something that you wanted to do. Luckily, my experiences were generally not too bad. I had a dentist that I could trust. So from my point of view, it was very nice to go to the dentist because my experiences weren't negative in any way, shape or form. Unfortunately, I still see many patients today that come in and they have had negative experiences with a dental practitioner.
Within school, we used to have our own school dental clinic. For a lot of children growing up, that was your exposure to dentistry, having to go to your school dental clinic. I don't think back then we were probably even offered anaesthetic. It horrifies me in terms of just, it gives me cold sweats thinking back to those dental experiences because your memory of them was just horrific. I'd like to think perhaps the younger generation of today are not having those experiences because I know in terms of how dentistry has evolved and the amazing technology that is out there now, the concept of painless dentistry is real. Nobody should have to go to a dentist and feel pain.
We want to try and minimise those previous bad experiences that patients have had in the past. We want to see our patients get good quality service across our group.
That's the exciting thing for me. If we can change that perception, stop those jokes out there that you constantly see in movies or wherever it is when people are referring to their worst nightmare.
Fundamentally, Maven Dental Group is really focused on the delivery of good quality patient care. Even though it's an extremely individual and it's a service-based profession, there are still factors which can provide really good quality within that dental practice. Things like infection control standards, or the delivery of really good quality patient experiences within the dental practice. These are things that we as a corporate can assist our practitioners in delivering, allowing our practitioners to focus on what they do best, which is clinical dentistry.
As a group, what we can do is collate that knowledge from all of those experienced dentists within the group and create principles of best practice. So it's not dictating how dentists practice dentistry, it's providing best practice guidelines.
Clinical best practice is really about the experience that the patient goes through. That experience is something that needs to be extremely positive, but it needs to also be backed up by clinical science. It can be the minute margins that we're looking at of that junction between a filling and a tooth. It can be the creation of a beautiful smile, looking at perfect proportions. Clinical best practice really revolves around so many aspects of clinical dentistry. Dentistry is really a combination of science and beauty and art. It's all of that rolled up together.
Our job is to build up that profile of the group to make sure that that brand is synonymous with best clinical care. That if you come to a Maven practice, that you've got some comfort and some assurance that no matter if you don't know that individual dentist, that your expectation is you're still going to get a level of care that's commensurate with the experience that you would expect from going to a dental practice.
The most important thing for any patient visiting a dentist is that they need to feel comfortable with the dentist. They need to trust the dentist and trust that the practice or the practitioner is doing the right thing by them. We want to make sure that the clinicians that we have on board, that the practices that we have on board are really part of that philosophy of people, care and excellence.
There's a number of challenges with building a dental group. We've got a number of competitors now in the market. The opportunity's there for others to come into the market. At the same time, because it's just in its early phases, there's a lot of dentists who aren't aware of it. So it is quite competitive for the dentists who are looking to sell. With anything that you're starting off new, there's always a concern, are we going to get to where we want to get to? And ultimately it's about self-belief. It's about a number of people having self-belief. We've been very fortunate that we've had shareholders who have backed us. We've invested hundreds of millions of dollars growing the group to where we are. People have to have belief in what you're doing. One of the most rewarding aspects of dentistry is the difference that you can make in people's lives.
We can provide a service to a patient that literally changes their life, whether it be getting them out of pain, whether it be changing their smile. To see someone's reaction, that emotional alteration in that individual, that's something that's extremely exciting and very, very rewarding. There are many aspects of the future that are really quite exciting within Maven Dental Group. We can work on innovations within the industry. With scale, as we continue to grow, we'll be able to provide all these aspects to our clinicians that they wouldn't be able to get living in their own little clinical environment. We want to make sure that the outcomes for our patients are really number one. I understand what our clinicians are feeling in general day-to-day practice, and as a result I can lead them into that consistent mindset of the delivery of good clinical care to our patients.